Hello, y'all. How y'all doing? Me, I'm doing lovely. I hope you guys are doing good. I'm about to go in my kitchen and do some straightening up. So while I'm in my kitchen, y'all can come with me while I sit here and talk to you guys for a little bit about health and wellness and recovery and healing, and also talk about what is going on in the world. And we're also going to talk about just what you have to do to recover and heal. Right now, I am on my healing and recovery journey right now. And a little bit about me, I'm a certified recovery, healing and recovery coach that has spent over 20 years trying to find out what exactly has been wrong with me for almost decade. Well, what made me decide to go on this healing and recovery journey, in all honesty, was I had two car accidents in 1998 that forever changed my life and forever changed my whole world as I know it. So now it's to the point where I have to make my own foods. I have to make everything from scratch because I'll show you. If you look on a lot of the different things that you buy, like I'll use this for example, there's normally something here, and a lot of the chemicals that are in these foods are making me sick, and I cannot buy a lot of processed foods. So I'll use Pringles for example. When I look at this, most people look at this here. This is what everybody looks at normally. Me, I look here. I look at the ingredients. I look at if there's any other things, like if it's been manufactured in something that has like shellfish or tree nuts or any type of, if it says bioengineering, genetically modified, like modified cornstarch, I don't buy this stuff. So when I am picking my stuff, as far as any groceries that I buy, I always look at the down here where it says recipes. I always look down here. I don't look here because this doesn't matter at this point. I've learned calories don't matter because at the end of the day, the reason why a lot of people are not losing weight, and I'm going to be transparent about it, it's not about what you're eating. It's about when you're working out and the chemicals that are in your food. There are a lot of chemicals that are in your foods that are making you sick, and it's the reason a lot of people are dying. I have been to many doctors where they have told me nothing was wrong. They did not do any thorough tests, and I found out later there were things that could have been taken care of a long time ago that basically essentially were never taken care of. I also have 10 podcasts that I do on Spreaker where I talk about these particular issues, these particular concerns. So for example, if I buy pickles, I have to make sure I read on the back of it where it says ingredients, where it's distributed, if there's any, where it's manufactured, because that determines allergies. Not only that, if you go to an allergy doctor, they cannot tell you what foods you are allergic to. Why? Because they have to do a blood test. And I have issues on this side of my throat where it's a lot of swelling. So it's hard for me to eat almost any processed foods because it irritates my throat and it makes me very sick. So now I have to make everything from scratch. So I can buy stuff like this, for example, because it's just mangoes. I use a lot of these. If I buy coffee, it's just coffee. I have like celery, stuff like that. These are the things that I buy because I will be doing a lot of juicing. I'm starting to make my own juices, my own candles, my own skincare. I have to do all of that because I cannot use anything that's in the store because it makes me sick. So a lot of people don't think about it from that perspective, that you would think that your products and services have a lot of stuff in it. But there are a lot of chemicals that are not just in foods. They're also in other products like your, for example, you may have dish detergent, stuff that they use to make dish detergent in your food. They have chloride chlorine that's in your food that you're not supposed to eat. So it's all of these different things that are being put in your system that your body is not even supposed to have. So for example, if I use this, for example, sugar. This is the brand I buy because this brand here is actually, if you look at it, it doesn't look like regular sugar. It doesn't look like regular sugar at all. Because the sugar that y'all buy is bleached. This is not bleached. This is actually raw cane sugar. And this is healthier than the sugar that you buy that is bleached. Same thing with your flour. If you get the unbleached flour, that's the best type of flour to get. Also, with your meats, you got to be careful about that because chlorine is also on your meats. So you have to make sure you rinse your meats off, your vegetables. I would say use baking soda and water and a little bit of salt and put your vegetables in there. Let them soak. Not only that, you have to deal with pesticides, bacteria, all of these different things. So when you are picking out your groceries, I would recommend that before you buy anything, go on the website and you can see all the different products that you buy, and you can see the ingredients. If it is anything that you cannot pronounce, anything that you don't know what it is, look it up. You're going to find that a lot of the stuff that's the additives cause cancer, cause leukemia, cause liver disease, cause all of these different issues. And that's why your digestive issues are having the issues that they're having. Hi, everybody. But that's the reason you're having a lot of digestive issues. When it comes to losing weight, you're not losing weight because you exercise. I found that out years ago. Because I would go to the gym and I work out, wouldn't lose no weight. Why? Because as soon as I left the gym, I went and ate. You don't lose weight that way. You don't lose weight unless you're going to exercise before you go to bed. So if you're going to exercise before you go to bed, that would be the best time for you to do your major weights, your major workouts, because you're not eating anything. I don't recommend eating past between 6 and 8. Intermittent fasting for 12 to 16 hours. So let's say you stop eating at 6, you may not eat again until 10. So between 10 and 6 will be when you eat. You might eat around 9 o'clock. So between 9 and 7, 9 and 8, you may not eat. But the point is having these, intermittent fasting, but also being able to watch also the chemicals you put in your body. Makeup. Y'all don't even realize what's in makeup. Makeup has a chemical in it that causes cancer. A lot of y'all are wearing heels and then you now have arthritis in your feet. So a lot of things that society is giving you isn't healthy. And they're not trying to change it. They're not trying to do nothing about it. It's just like I used to be able to eat Breyer's ice cream. I can't even eat Breyer's ice cream no more because of the bioengineering and all the modified ingredients that's in your ice cream. I have an ice cream machine down here. I just make my own ice cream. That's just what I do. So at the end of the day, when it comes to the oils that you use, when you're cooking oils, alcohol ain't good for you either. So wine is something you can drink, but liquor is bad because it causes lung disease. You're not supposed to drink it, but yet we do. So it's a lot of things that we're not supposed to even entertain, but we do. So when it comes down to, all of these chemicals, not only that, our waters are polluted. There's bacteria that's causing listeria, causing COVID, all of these different things. Everybody thought COVID was an air disease. No, it was a food disease. It was based upon what you ate. The first person that had COVID from China was eating a bat. That's how they got COVID. So it was never airborne. It was actually digestive issues. So a lot of times, because I didn't get COVID. I didn't get COVID at all. So you just got to be mindful with everything that you buy. So if I'm buying these is one thing. These are just vegetables. They're just frozen. That's it. There's nothing in the back of it that says anything, any other ingredients. Just vegetables. But when you get to something like this, for example, my groceries are out. So something like this, for example, you're going to look in the back and you're going to see what ingredients does it is. If it says inactive ingredients, you need to read that. If it says that it is manufactured and you're allergic to nuts, don't buy it. Because like I said, a lot of the ingredients that's in the original of these are additives. Stuff they added when it got to the manufacturing company. So the original ingredients may not have any of these things in it. So the person that basically created these, probably when they originally did these, none of the other stuff was in here. But in order to make this last longer, they put chemicals in it that are making us sick. That's just what they're doing. So when you are trying to go through this healing journey, your health and wellness journey, they both go hand in hand because of the same issues. Just like when it comes to relationships, just like when it comes to when people say, can I do yogurt? Yes. Can you drink milk? Yes. But here's the thing. It's not even about what you eat. It ain't about how much of it that you eat. It's about the ingredients that's in your food that's going to be the issue. Because even if you do portion control, even if you don't drink milk, you still need calcium. So at the end of the day, whether you're vegan, pescatarian, whether you're keto, regardless of what you are, you do what works for you. But you are going to need these other things in order to survive. We are mammals, for God's sakes. We are mammals. So, in the end, you got to make sure that whatever you're going to do, it's a forever thing. It's not temporary, it's forever. So whatever you've done to lose weight, whatever you've done to overcome cancer, you have to continue to do. So if you have cancer, you got to stay with processed foods. You got to stay away from anything that, regardless whether it's lotions, makeup, whatever, you're going to have to go holistic. So a lot of people are creating holistic products, holistic makeups, holistic lotions, natural products that are from the ground. So those are the things you want to buy. So the thing about the life that we live, we've been living a life for quite some time. So pretty much what's been going on is we've been living pretty much a lie. Like I found this right here. This is mixed berry maple syrup. I can use this for making desserts. I can use this for making pancakes. But like I said, you want to find things that the majority of the ingredients in here are actually what is in the actual product itself. And if it's something you don't know what it is, look it up. Because when you look up these other products, these other stuff that you can't pronounce, you're going to find out that they have, they cause cancer, they cause heart disease, lung disease, kidney disease. They cause all of these things. So your health and wellness is something that you shouldn't take as a joke. Even your oils, same thing with this. You need to look at the back of this and see if it's actual, virgin olive oil. If it doesn't say extra virgin olive oil or pure extra virgin olive oil, you don't need to buy it. That means it's synthetic. So a lot of stuff that you have that you're buying is synthetic. And that is the one thing that's making a lot of people sick. That's the one thing that's making people unhealthy. Another thing that I like to do that my friend asked me about today was lemon and apple cider vinegar and water. What does that do? It curbs your appetite, but it also helps as far as losing weight. So if you drink some apple cider vinegar and water or lemon and water, or you can do both, take a capful of both, shake it, drink it, you will lose weight. I lost 21 pounds that way. I lost 21 pounds not exercising, not dieting. The only thing I did was I fasted. I stopped eating a lot of processed foods. I am juicing. I am making everything from scratch. Doing the Nara Smith thing. So I'm not mad at Nara because That's the only way you honestly can be healthy, is if you grow your own fruits, your own vegetables, if you basically create and make your own, like chia seeds, meal prep. Those things are important, but you have to make the time to do it. And then not only that, your kids especially, but exercise is important, but it's not to lose weight. It's to basically keep your body functional from arthritis. It's keeping your body functional from being stiff. So movement is good because it helps with you being able to not end up being paralyzed, not being able to walk, not to be able to function. So exercise is just to keep the body as far as movement, so you're not in pain. So basically, when you are exercising and you're moving around, you are turning fat into muscle. But this visceral fat right here, that's around the woman's stomach, that's at the bottom, that muscle, you're gonna have to really do a lot of sit-ups. But even still, that may, sorry, this just failed. But you may not, the bottom may not. This may go down, this may not. Some people go and they get surgery on the bottom of their stomach after they have children, because that muscle is no longer there once you have baby. So it's not easy to get rid of visceral fat. You have gluten, you have, your eczema. I mean, as far as insulin, you have inflammation, you have constipation. But what a lot of people don't talk about is your intestines, and why cleansing out your intestines is so important. While chewing your food and making sure what you're eating is digestible. Because if it ain't, you don't need to eat it. Like corn, you're going to have to do the sweet corn where you blend it up and take your corn and then blend it. That's the only way you're going to be able to digest it. It's not digestible. Tomatoes, that the skin is not digestible. So what happens is, if you're not chewing your food properly, it gets stuck in your intestines, which in terms means something is stuck, which in terms mean your inflammation going to come up to your throat, and you're going to have inflammation issues. So cleansing out your digestive system, cleansing out your intestines, small and large, are important, because food gets stuck there. And most of your bacteria is in your intestines. So if that food does not go down, it's going to come up and go through your whole entire system, which in turn is going to affect your blood, your organs, your cells, your tissues, and why you get sick. So cleansing out your stomach, your colon, your kidneys, they have different drops, different things you can take for your liver, for your kidneys. There are things that you can take for your intestines, but you need to cleanse it out. Because you should be going to the bathroom every time you eat. At least 2 or 3 times, even if not more than that. So you need to see, these things are not taught. So what you eat, what you consume, what you acknowledge is going to determine how you're going to live. Every choice, every decision, every action, every behavior that you do has consequences, repercussions, and karma. It just does. And for those of y'all that are out here wanting to heal, let me tell you what your goal is. Once you heal, okay? Once you've dealt with your mental, psychological, emotional, spiritual, financial, internal and external health issues, and your relationships, you need to maintain that. It is not about losing weight because you want to get a man. It's not about losing weight because you want to be society standards. That is not why you are doing this. You are doing this to be healthy. You're doing this to live. None of this that's behind me is going with you when you die. None of these bills, none of these credit, it's not going to matter. You're not going to be on this world forever. So your purpose in this world is not what society told you. What are you meant to do? A lot of y'all have went against your dreams and goals because your self-esteem, self-worth, self-value, your self-respect, what you believe in, how you see yourself, and your confidence been based on what everybody else think about you. Y'all sat up here and you have let people make you feel less than what you are. You have let people tell you what you should and should not be. The first thing is you're not supposed to be in front of a computer for 8 hours. Number two, you're not even supposed to be working for 8 hours. There's nothing in the Bible that says that we were supposed to work like this. Nothing. So at the end of the day, you're making somebody else money. You're making somebody else happy, but you're ignoring you. You're ignoring what makes you happy. What are you getting out of what you're doing for these people? What are you getting out of jumping through hoops and being Captain Saberhose and Build-A-Bears and Build-A-Dolls? What is wrong with you? Why don't you feel that the person that you naturally look like, what is wrong with you? Do you really want to be society standards? Do you really want to be a part of a world that is in walking contradiction? Everybody wants you to get married, but they won't get rid of the sex industry. They want you to be married, but there's all these harlots, succubus, and Jezebels coming around your husband or your wife. Y'all get everything you want, but you don't want to be bored. So you want to go out there and see if you still got it and jeopardize everything you worked hard for. Isn't the whole point is to get away from drama? Isn't the whole point of being successful to be able to do and come and go as you please? Isn't the whole point of building something so I don't have to work no more? That I can work a few hours and then enjoy the rest of my day. So for example, if I had 6 clients and then I do trainings once a month, guess what? I can make $2.5 million and only have to take 3 hours of my time. But yet you work 8 hours and don't even get half of that. So again, when you sit down and you're figuring out certain things, do you have to follow the rules of society? No, you don't. You don't have to. So I gotta put this stuff up. So I'm gonna still be talking while I'm juggling around stuff. But no, do you have to do that? No, you don't. You ain't gotta do none of that. The only thing that you gotta do in all honesty is just live and just be. For example, should you move out? No. Why are you moving out your mama's house? Because you want to have sex. Why are you moving out? Because you want to come and go. It ain't about come and going as you please. It's the fact you want to have sex. You want to bring people to your house. To your mama's house. So pretty much the only reason you're moving out is because you want to have sex. That's the only reason you're moving out. You're not moving out because you genuinely want to move out. So again, when you start going through these healing processes, when you start going through this growing and evolving process of it all, ask yourself, why? When you start going into your situations and you start looking at things and seeing things for what they are and not what you want them to be, you're going to come to realize you've been living a lie. You're going to come to the realization that you have been bamboozled and led astray. That is what you've been. So I just want people to understand that healing and recovery is what you make it. But it's also about being able to be the best version of yourself. And everything is a purpose. And the question is, while I'm dropping things, what is your purpose? What is it that you are trying to accomplish here? What type of life is it that you want? Y'all done set up here and let people, these wolves in sheep's clothing, boy and girl that cry wolf, sirens, vampires, and snakes, lead you astray. Y'all up here trying to please a family that will never accept you, that will only use you and take advantage of you. A lot of y'all been looking for somebody to replace your parents, because this is how it starts. When you're a kid, you know how your mama tell you no, what you do, you go to your daddy. Your daddy tell you no, what you do, you go to your grandparents. And you're going to go to whoever until they get you whatever it is that you want. Well, that transition to being an adult. Adults do the same thing. So go to whoever until they get you whatever it is that you want. Well, that transition to being an adult. Adults do the same thing. So if they're you, they're going to get it from somebody. If it ain't you. So what I want people to understand that as a healing coach, it is my job to not only get you to let go of the past completely. Let it go. You can't go back. There is no going backwards. I need people to understand that. You can't go back. You can only start over. That's it. So either you're going to start over or you're going to let it go. Because this going back to what? You're going back to the same chaos? The same person that hurt you to do it all over again? Put their hands on you? You going back saying, well, maybe they'll change. They're not going to change. You going to change. Negative people don't change. They will never change. Negative people will never, ever, ever, ever change. They just won't. You gonna be the one playing Captain Save-A-Hole, Build-A-Bears, Build-A-Dolls, Seat Fillers, and People Pleasers. You gonna be the one doing that. You gonna be the one taking on everybody else's spiritual warfare. You gonna be the one paying for everybody else. You gonna be the one that when you go through none of these people care. They don't. Why? Because with independent people, we're expected to take care of them. Godly people, we're supposed to put up with nonsense that we shouldn't even put up with. So again, the one thing I've learned when I hear people say, I got your man. Do you? Do you really have him? Or does he have you? You trying to hold on to somebody that don't even want to be kept, that left a long time ago, the minute they asked that woman for their phone number. The minute they walked out the door in general. Y'all keep thinking because you have this, you got a man. No, you don't. No, you don't. That man is not property. He's a human being. He can walk out anytime he wants to. He stays as long as he or she chooses to. Not because you got him. People can walk out anytime they want to. Y'all cannot control somebody's freedom of choice and free will. You can't. But you try to. You invest in people that ain't going to do nothing but take everything you invested and give it to somebody else. That's exactly what they're going to do. A lot of y'all have been trying to be Captain Save-A-Holes, trying to make a hoe into a housewife or a husband. Y'all been trying to get people to like you, and they ain't doing nothing but taking everything you give them, and they going to give it to the next person. You trying to get somebody to love you so bad that you are willing to go against everything that is right to do something wrong. You are willing to go against everything that is you. You are willing to change for this person. You are willing to lower yourself for this person. You are willing to do all this stuff for this person. And for what? Why are you doing it? All because you want to be loved. All because you want to be in a relationship. But guess what? When you get 51 years old, you're going to be looking back and be like, I wish I'd have never done it. You're going to look back at them coulda, shoulda, wouldas that you didn't do, that you chose not to do, and you're going to be mad at yourself. When you see how people really see you is when they're behind your back, not in front of your face. In front of your face, they can tell you whatever. But behind your back is a whole nother situation. So what I want people to understand is you have to love you. And everybody's the addition to that. They add to that or they subtract from it. One of the two. You got to be able to have a safety net. You can't give up everything for nobody. You just can't. So all of this, I'm going to take care of you. Show me that you're going to take care of me. Because that comes with control. All of this, just I provide and protect. That's all. No, it ain't just you provide and protect. Absolutely not. You're going to do more than just provide and protect. Y'all got to learn to love people evenly. There is no under, there is no high, and there is no low. It's right here. The only thing that should be 100% should be 100% of an effort, 100% of loyalty, 100% of dependability, 100% of dedication. But as far as you making all the money, I'm sitting at home. Absolutely not. Nope, I got dreams and goals. I got things that I want to accomplish. I did not come in this world to just sit here and just be your wife. No, I have dreams of my own. And that's why I thank God that I have somebody in my life that lets me be me. So, like I said, if you don't have a man that says to you, what are your dreams? What are your goals? What are you trying to accomplish? It shouldn't even matter if I make more money than him. If anything, that should make him want to elevate himself. That should make a man want to elevate himself if I'm making more money than him. He should be able to want to elevate himself, not the other way around. So why are you raising somebody else's child? A lot of y'all are raising children, adult children. We are not in high school no more. A lot of y'all cannot elevate, you can't evolve, you cannot grow, you cannot mature, you can't do nothing because you have a whole society that will not let you. They want you to remain exactly where you are. And it shows even in jobs at this point. Nobody can elevate in their job right now. These jobs are not even training no more. They're not training. They're just sticking you in a position, telling you go ahead and go to work. But I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. You'll figure it out. Now is you can't get a raise. Now they don't want you to go on vacation. Do you want to know why they want you in the office? So you can't go on vacation. That's why. They want it where you are at an office. Because when most people had laptops and they were working remote, they were traveling. Do you know how many people travel and work while they're on vacation? Do you know how many people will still work a couple of hours? Like, for example, if they leave on Saturday, let's say they're going from Saturday and they're on a boat. Some people will take their laptop and they'll work. Because they may not go out that morning. They may work for a couple of hours. Or some people will end up working the whole weekend before they go on vacation. They'll work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Some people work 10 hours a day, just have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. Some people just would rather work 10 hours just so they can be off on Friday. So let's say your ship leaves on Friday and you're not coming back to the following Friday. Now, if you got PTO, you can use your PTO. But people now want to travel more. People don't want to be in the office. People want to live their lives. They want to live their dreams. They want to live their goals. People are tired of being stuck. It is not healthy to be in front of a computer for 8 hours. It's not healthy to be strolling on these phones for 8 hours a day. So again, I get it. I understand. But the thing about healing is you got to see things for what they are, not what you want them to be. Because with other people, you can't see it from what you want it to be because you're dealing with other people. So you have to see these people in these situations exactly for what they are. And what you have to decide is, do I want to deal with it or don't I? It's like asking the question, do you want to deal with the red pill or the blue pill that is of the Matrix? Which one do you want? A lot of y'all would pick the red pill. But the truth is, the blue pill is the one I would pick. And everybody's like, why? Because I ain't got to go through all of that to know what the red pill entails. I already know what the red pill entails. I don't need to go down there. Go down there for what? To go through a bunch of damage that I don't need to go through a bunch of chaos and destruction? When I could just sit back and chill and say, you know what? I don't want to do all that. I would still end up getting the same thing achieved with less drama. When you open this, everything that's up here, every answer to every question of life is in here. But if you don't expand your mind and you don't let the information come in, you learn nothing. You learn nothing. If I sat here and I looked at this, and I do this all the time, I'll look at something, I read it, but I still don't know what it is. Why? Because I didn't read it out loud. Speak everything into existence. Read everything out loud. Because nothing in silence can be processed until it's spoken into existence. When it is spoken into existence, that's when it's actually acknowledged. So a lot of times y'all sitting up here like I'm looking at something that says a mason jar. But guess what? If I didn't say it was a mason jar, it wouldn't be acknowledged. I'm looking at a bunch of knives sitting up here. But just because I see it doesn't mean I don't acknowledge it. But until I say I need knives so I can cut up my fruits and vegetables, that's the only way that I'm gonna know to use a knife. Like these little cutesy little jars right here. I have these jars for my juices actually. When I juice, I use these. I have some bigger, cups and stuff, but I normally use these. And then I'm getting a sealer that seals them. And then a thing that actually opens it. But until you speak into existence, whatever it is, you don't acknowledge it. Even though you see it, you don't acknowledge it. So until you speak it and say it, that's when you truly acknowledge it. So when you open Pandora's box and you choose to open that box, you better prepare for everything that's in that box and what comes with that box. And if you ain't ready for what comes in that box, then I don't suggest you open it. Don't open it. Open it for what? What are you opening these boxes for? So again, as a certified recovery, healing and recovery and addiction coach, welcome to my world. Your addictions come from the craziest places. But your addiction comes from the fact that you don't want to. It's like when you find this inner peace and tranquility and you don't want to relinquish it and you don't want to let it go. That's what being high is. High just takes you to this place and you just don't want to come down from it. And when you come down from it, you feel absolutely horrible. Well, guess what? Life ain't no different. So when you are loved and you're in a good space and everything is good, that's that high. But then when something bad happens and you end up down here, now you feel extremely low. And you be like, why in the world do I feel so low? Why do I feel so bad? So you'll do anything to keep that high. But it's not supposed to last forever. But if you have boundaries and non-negotiables, you can keep that high. If you learn to find everything within, you don't have to worry about it. If you stop trying to bring everybody named mama, trying to take care of everybody, trying to be there for everybody, and trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho, Build-A-Bears, Build-A-Dolls, seat fillers, and people pleasers. If you stop trying to go through all these hoops and bounds, be loved, liked, appreciated, valued, wanted, needed to be a part of something, to be validated, to be approved of, to be accepted, for somebody to know your worth, and proving something to people. If you would see people for what they are and realize they're not in your life for the right reasons, they're actually in your life for the wrong reasons. They're there because of what they can get from you. They're there because you are convenient. You are there because they can take advantage of you. And then when they get done, they're going to leave you for someone that didn't do half of what you did. That's how that works. So healing and recovery is being honest and being true with you, not only yourself, but how you see the world. A lie can be a truth and a truth can be a lie. It absolutely can. So you need to understand that that's the way it is. Does it make it right? No, absolutely not. It don't. But when y'all start going down these rabbit holes with me, I'm telling you, you're going to have so many mixed emotions. And not only that, there's 120 different emotions. And y'all only use 10 of them out of 120 different emotions. So you have to ask yourself, what level is your emotions are? Is it worth being upset about? Not only that, when you end something, say the following thing: I rebuke negativity and send it back from what you came because I don't want it. I no longer want no parts of it. I no longer want anything to do with it. I will no longer accept it. Give it back. Whatever feelings you have, relinquish it. Completely relinquish it. You can't move forward unless you do. You cannot move forward if you still got ill will, ill intent, any type of negative feelings towards a person. That chapter is not closed. A chapter can only be closed when you completely let it go. When you accept the fact, I don't want nothing to do with this person in any way, shape, form, fashion. I don't care what they do. I don't care what they got going on. I don't care. And you stand on that. They can move on and you would care less. because you are not worried about what that person took. You ain't worried about what that person did. All you care about is that person is no longer in your life and you want nothing to do with them at all. That's it. It's just that simple. So again, these journeys are not easy. They're hard. But it's about maintaining the healing and recovery. It's about your peace, quiet, and tranquility not being non-negotiables. It's about your happiness beginning and ending with you. And people are just the addition to that, or they add this track from it. You're not giving up nothing. You're not building anybody just to be built for somebody else. You are only guiding, you are only assisting, and that is it. That is all you're doing. You're not leading anybody anywhere. They leading themselves. You're just along with them. You're just walking on a journey with them, just like God is walking through the journey with you. Y'all need to start asking God, or whatever your spirituality or whatever your religion is, before you decide to walk somewhere, before you decide to do something. You better let God walk with you. You better let God lead you, and you better let God show you the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. And if you can't handle the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, then you're going to keep going through what you're going through, because you can't see things for what they are. You see what you want to see, but not what the situation really is, not who the person really is. Because then when y'all go to court and you're getting divorced, or when you break up, you be like, you wasn't the person that I thought you were. Guess what? They never were. They never were that person. They were a wolf in sheep's clothing, boy and girl. They cried wolves, sirens, vampires, snakes. That's what they are. Jezebel, sirens, and succubus. So let me go down each one of them. You have the wolf in sheep's clothing. The wolf in sheep's clothing is the most dangerous one out of all, because he's a combination of all of these. Of the ones I'm getting ready to name. So he's all of them combined. The boy and girl that cried wolf is the liar. We all know the story of the boy and girl that cried wolf. Liar. Snake, is the deceiver. The siren is basically presenting something that isn't real. It's imaginary. It's a fantasy world that doesn't exist. It's something that doesn't exist, but it's a fantasy. A siren is basically, it lures you to your demise through your fantasies. And they make it a reality, but it still ain't real. So even though you may be living something, it's still a fantasy. Because at any time it can be taken away from you. At any time it can be destroyed. So a siren is something that you may think is one way, and it ain't at all. Chess, not checkers, pretty much. It's like playing chess, not checkers. Moving in silence. But sirens will lead you to your destruction. Just by presenting your fantasies and what you want. That's why wants are deceptive. They're deceivers. That's what a siren is. A siren ain't nothing but a want. It's a want. And it's a desire. And that's the one thing that the siren does. It goes after your wants. It goes after your desires. And it uses them against you to destroy you with it. They know that you want what you want and you desire what you desire. But what are you willing to do to get it? And that's how a siren always gets you. From what you desire. And that's how, at the same time, it'll destroy you with the same thing that you want. They'll use what you want and what you desire against you as a weapon. The next thing is a vampire. A vampire is a user. It sucks the life out of you. It takes whatever it can take. And then after it takes whatever it wants, and there's no more blood left, it leaves you for dead. So with a vampire is not going to unalive you. You're just going to become one. So a vampire will never unalive you completely. That's why they cannot suck all of your blood out. They only can suck but for so much. That's why they have to come back. That's why with vampires, either you willingly let it bite you It manipulates you into letting you suck the life out of it, or it forces you to suck the life out of you. And that's when you might be dead. But the other two, no, you're not going to be dead. You're just going to turn into one. If it has to force you to, and it breaks your neck or some of that nature, then yeah, you're probably going to be dead. With a wolf in sheep's clothing, born good ground sirens. Okay, I said them all. Also, you have Jezebels. A Jezebel ain't nothing but a hoe. A Jezebel uses her sexuality to get what she wants. A siren is a woman that wants a baby and uses men to have babies. That's what a succubus is. A succubus is about making children and using those children for whatever purpose they want to use it for. Child support. You're going to have to take care of that siren that succubus forever. A harlot is a little bit different. A harlot is about power. She wants power. A harlot wants to be in charge. So she's kind of a combination of the two. You're going to be dealing with one of them. So as a godly person, you're not supposed to be with a deceiver. You're not supposed to be with a person that's an abuser, or somebody that commits adultery, or somebody that abandons you. You're not supposed to be with nobody that has a history of any of that. You're not supposed to. So there you go. The more knowledge you have, the better choices you make. Because you're not going to do nothing without researching. So when I get on these cameras, every topic that you'll hear me talk about, I've done my research thoroughly. I thought about it from the person that's going to challenge me on it. So I look at it from both perspectives, negative and positive. So if somebody says that I'm a liar and they try to come at me a different way, while you're talking to me, I'm looking up your information to verify. I verify everything. And that's the one thing about healing and recovery. You verify everything. Nothing is where you don't verify it to make sure it is valid, to make sure that it's real, to make sure that it's true. Pretty much. So that's how I deal with these situations. I see them for what they are, not what I want them to be. And I decide whether I want to be a part of it or whether I don't. But I research first to make sure that I know the consequences, repercussions, and karma of my actions, behavior, choices, and decisions. How I be impacted by this other person's behavior. The emotional consequences that come with that. The mental health issues that will come with it. What I have to gain, what I have to lose. And if what I have to lose is worse than what I have to gain, it ain't worth it. Anything negative, the answer is no. Anything that's negative is going to be life-changing, life-altering anyway. So you got to be very careful and very mindful when you make decisions. So the new version of you is no nonsense. The new version of you, you've worked too hard to heal. And like I told somebody, even if I have sex, we're still using condoms because I don't trust you. I don't care. I ain't trying to be sick again. I ain't trying to have nothing, no diseases, nothing from another individual. I mean that sincerely. So until I know that you ain't messing with another woman, you will not, in any way, shape, or form, not be using any condoms. I'm sorry, you just will not be. My thing about it is when you walk out that door, you're not mine. So whatever you do, you better pray to God it don't get back to me. You better pray to God I don't never find out about it. Because as long as it don't come to my house, I don't care. The minute it impacts me, my child, or anybody I care about, we're going to have some very serious problems. So I don't worry about what people do, because my thing is a person is more dangerous when they do things behind your back than in front of your face. And that's a lot of people need to understand. I get it. But y'all need to stop acting like there is something wrong with you, like you're not good enough, like you're not worthy. Y'all need to stop trying to be a part of a society that don't want you to they don't want you there, don't even go. Because here's the thing. You can be chosen but not accepted. That part. And that is the one thing people don't talk about. You can be chosen but not be accepted. And people ask me, what do I mean when I say that? It's pretty simple. You can be chosen for a group, but the group will never accept you. They'll never like you. They don't want you there. So even though you have talent, even though you basically could make the group, you could add to the group, they don't want you there. So why would I be somewhere that people don't want me there? So no, I'm not going to be anywhere where I'm not wanted. That part. I'm just not going to do it. Why would I do that? That would be a waste of time. So I'm not going to be anywhere where I'm not wanted. So even if I'm chosen, that don't mean I'm going to be wanted. So just because somebody chooses you does not mean they accept you. Doesn't mean they don't like you. It doesn't mean that they love you. You just were chosen for whatever reason. There was a reason they chose you. It wasn't because they loved you. It wasn't because they care about you. It wasn't because they respect you. It's because you have something that they want. Or someone else chose you and everybody else don't like you. Jealousy, envy, gluttony, vanity, sloth, wrath, lust, greed. So the one thing about negative people is, I don't care if you argue with them, fuss with them, fight with them. The minute you engage, they've already won. The minute you get mad, they've already won. The minute that you cry, they've already won. But if you just say that, you just sit there with a straight face and you like, you did all of that for what? Exactly. I don't care. And walk away. Matter of fact, don't even say nothing. Just walk away. Walk away. When you find out somebody cheating, don't approach the person. Don't even say nothing. Even if you walk in on it. Don't even literally walk in there. Turn around and walk back out. Go to your homegirl house, deal with your emotions, deal with all of that, cry it out, relinquish it, let it go. And when you confront that person, there is no explanation. You start getting yourself prepared to leave. You don't need to say nothing. Start getting your stuff prepared. Start getting all your stuff in a row. And then just walk out. Don't even have a conversation. Leave the papers there. They come home, everything is gone, and they don't know why. They don't need an explanation. They don't need an explanation at all, because you're not going to get the explanation that you want. You're going to get a stupid explanation that's not even going to make sense. And then if you go back for what? Because you don't want her to have him? So let her have him. Because if you didn't give up nothing, you got somewhere to go. If you have a safety net, then you got somewhere to go. But see, the problem is people give up their safety net. If you had your safety net, then it wouldn't matter whether they did what they did or not. You wouldn't even be trying to stay. Why? Because you got your safety net. But when you have something that's invested, y'all are worried about, if I lose my investment, what am I going to do? Just lose your investment. Just lose it. What's more important, you losing an investment or losing your life? Staying with somebody that's constantly disrespecting you and constantly doing you dirty, or walk away. That's why you don't give up your safety nets. That's why you don't give up nothing. That way it's easier for you to walk away. Negative people want to strip everything from you. They don't want you to have a way out. They want you to feel like you have to constantly keep competing. And they just continue to destroy you. That part. Negative people will strip you of everything. So when you fall, you're going to hit rock bottom and it's going to hurt. Not because you were meant to be there, but because you let this person strip you of everything and then leave you for dead. If you look at the story of Job, Job didn't see it coming that the devil was going to strip him of everything. God didn't strip him of nothing. The devil stripped him of everything to see if he was going to turn against God. And guess what? He didn't. In no way, shape, form, or fashion did Job turn against God. He didn't. Despite everything that Christ went through, he didn't turn against God. He said, God, why do you forsake me? But he didn't turn against God when he was on that cross being stoned. When they did all that stuff to him. He sat right there and then resurrected from the dead, went down to hell, went down and talked to everybody he needed to talk to, and then went to heaven. That's the point. You need to understand that no matter what, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And even though you're going to go through some of the worst times in the world, once you get to that light in the end of the tunnel, you better not go back down there. You better not follow that rabbit back down that rabbit hole. I wouldn't recommend it if I were you. So again, healing is more about discovery. Healing is more about every day you learning how to protect this. Not all of this. This. Everything you have is to protect you from something. But can you lose it all and still resurrect and still get something better? Yes. If you have faith. So stop worrying about all of this. This ain't where you're gonna be ultimately. You're gonna be wherever God is eventually. Or you're gonna be down somewhere. So at the end, stop worrying about all of this is an illusion. Donald Trump, all of this is an illusion, and people are starting to wake up. But then people been telling y'all for decades, get your stuff together. Buy whatever you was going to buy. Have everything that you was going to have, because people told you the stuff was coming. Nostradamus called this centuries ago. Nostradamus called everything that's happened has been wrong yet. So at the end of the day, it's either you going to feed into the noise and panic, or you going to say, you know what? Let it crash. Let it crash. Because this country is crashing. See, every empire has its day. Every last one in history. This one ain't going to be no different. This one just going to be the first country that's going to be self-sabotaged. It's going to be destroyed because it self-sabotages itself. This country is self-sabotaging itself. All because of racism, discrimination, diversity, and division. And sometimes you got to let it crash. But you need to make sure you got your stuff together when it does. Because when it crashes, you better make sure that you on a plane somewhere. It's just like the story of Noah. The story of Noah is no different. Noah, when God said, I need you to build that ark. Yeah, and everybody thought it was crazy. Y'all thought all these people were crazy that was building these bunkers. Y'all thought all these people were crazy that was getting all these canned goods and stocking up their cabinets, getting these solar panels on their houses. Y'all thought they were crazy. Now what? Now everybody and their mama is trying to get solar panels just in case everything go out. You still got lights. The problem is that you're gonna have people that's gonna be trying to break into your house. So if all the lights get cut off, it's just going to be like an apocalypse where you got a bunch of people trying to get in your house because you have lights. And they're going to be looking for places that have lights. So the best thing for you to do is I wouldn't turn on the light. If you got lights, I wouldn't turn them on. I would get like the little small lights so you can still cook in your kitchen. Still have, and don't run and make sure that you turn on your air conditioner, because they're not going to pay. And make sure after a certain amount of time, cut it off, because they're going to be looking for that. Make sure you have heaters in your house at night, so that way we'll be able to run them heaters. So you want to be running the heat, put a heater in each room and turn the heat on. And then in the morning, you can basically warm your house up. If you got a fireplace, put a fireplace on. And lay in front of that fire, but so for you to be able to take a shower, make sure again don't use the lights. Don't use the lights, but at least you'll be able to take a shower. At least you'll be able to cook. At least you'll be able to plug all your phones up because you have solar power. So you'll be good. So once you have those solar panels, you'll be good at least during the day. So you'll be even though it's gonna be kind of cold. And you get in front of that fire, and you have them portable heaters, at least in the morning, you'll be able to use everything, and you ain't got to worry about it. So again, them solar panels come in handy. Some of these new RVs got solar panels on them. And you got a nice little house, little thing to sleep in, got somewhere to sleep, children got somewhere to sleep, and you good. Some of these buses have them as well. So again, y'all thought these people that were living in these RVs, y'all thought these that were getting these trucks made, these vans made, y'all thought everybody was crazy. Now you know they ain't. So again, you don't never know what may happen in a situation. But you need to be prepared for everything. So don't ever look at somebody else and look down on somebody else's situation thinking when they'll be you, because it would. That's why every time I go through something, I think about somebody else's situation. I'm like, how do they deal with it? So that's how, recovery coaching works. It's really getting down to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God, even if I don't like it. I want the truth. I don't want to lie. I want the truth, regardless of how hard it is, regardless of how uncomfortable that it is. I want the truth. So y'all, I got to put up some groceries, and then I got to get ready to sit my butt down and start juicing. I'm juicing today. Today is my juicing day. I'm taking some raspberries, some blueberries, and I'm going to juice them first and then put them in the blender and mix them in with some milk. So what I'm doing is I have this raspberry, like I told y'all, the ones that I showed y'all. So I make my juices and then I put them into these little containers and I put them in the refrigerator. I have that maple syrup for a reason. That is going into this. Also, tomorrow I am making my chia seeds and whatever breakfast. I meant to get some burritos. I got the little tacos, so I decided I'm gonna make tacos with some sausage and eggs, and mix it together and make my sausage and eggs. Cook the sausage first, then cook the eggs. Mix them together, and then I make tacos. So I might make tacos, and then I might make burritos, and then also the chia seeds. So I might have chia seeds, and then have breakfast burritos, or I may just have the chia seeds for 3 days, and then have the breakfast burritos for 3 days. So that's what I'm doing. I'm making these different types of chia seeds. So I might make one with the mixed berry, mix it in, and then I have the puree, and I might add a little bit of mixed berry in it, or I might have the vanilla and add the vanilla to it, and then mix it in, and then I have some oats. So I got some oats, chia seeds, flax seeds. Oh yeah, add flax seeds or hemp seeds into your chia seeds. You'll get more nutrients in that as well. And I have these little containers that I put them in, and I'm going to stick them in the refrigerator. And then I'm going to use the yogurt that I have in the back, and then also the Activia, and mix it in. But yeah, can I have the chia seeds, pudding, and the breakfast burrito? Yes. Could be my breakfast / lunch. And then I'll have for dinner, I might make a salad. I might make, I got some chicken, so I'm going to take the chicken and I'm going to shred the chicken. I got some pasta, and then I might either do some chicken hamburger meat, mix it together with it, have the chicken, and make like a pasta. I forgot to get some Italian dressing. I think I got some in there. Make some Italian dressing and make like a nice pasta salad. Or some ranch. I have a little bit of ranch, so I might make that. And then I also have some spinach, where I might add spinach into my eggs as well. So I have spinach, mushrooms, green peppers, onions, and I just make like a sauce, like a scramble. And then I have the little fork thing with the eggs, where you can just put them in there, add everything you want to add into it, and then flip it over, and can make those too. So I have options. I just don't know exactly what I'm making. So I don't know. It's just going to be eggs all this week. I have 2 packs of eggs. Because in 2 weeks, I'm going home, going to visit my family. So, like I said, whatever works for you, as far as products, but the way everybody go about it is the same. The way you go about health and wellness is the same across the board. There's nothing different. The only difference is what products and the type of schedules that you do, like vitamin B, vitamin A, vitamin C. It's all the same for all of us. It's just the question of what do we need more of? But that still don't mean we don't have to take all the other things. Ashwana, black seed oil, castor oil. You're still gonna need. You're still gonna need all of that. Regardless, you're still gonna need it. It's just, do you need as much of it, or more so of one thing? And that's what I'm saying. Also, magnesium. What type of magnesium that you need? So again, we all need the same of everything because we're all human beings. It's just a question of what do you need the most of. That still don't mean you don't need to take your multivitamins, because you do. But you might need biotin. So you might want to get collagen. So, like, again, this is what I use for salads. So again, whatever works for you as far as your workouts. But I recommend working out at night before you go to bed. Like 2 hours before you go to bed. Work out. Don't eat anything. Don't drink anything. Go to bed. It's over there somewhere. It's a calorie. Get a book that you can write down everything that you eat. Because starting tomorrow, that's what I'm doing. Everything that I'm eating for the whole week is going in that book. It tells me how many calories that I've ate and how many calories at night that I need to work off. You're working off all these calories as soon as you eat them. So after you eat your last meal of the day, add that up, and that's how many calories you have to lose. Then you go to bed. 16 hours later, you're not eating nothing. Your body's processing. Your body's cleansing everything. Then the same thing. Just keep going. You're going to see that weight come off. It's going to come off really quickly. And then when you work out, but the first thing you have to do is stop eating between 6 and 8. Stop eating after 6 and 8. And in the morning, just drink some lemon water or apple cider vinegar and water. Tea, don't matter. You can drink coffee. If you're going to eat something light. If you do eat in the morning, eat something light. Don't start off heavy. Have your first heavy thing during lunch. Can you have pancakes during lunch? Yes, called brunch. Then you might have your dinner like about 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, and 6 o'clock, stop eating. If you're somebody that between 7 and 8 you want to stop eating, fine, as long as you stop eating before 8 o'clock. And then from 8 to 8, maybe, so let's start off with 12 hours. From 8 to 8, have your first meal, 8 o'clock in the morning. If you do 16 hours, then that would be 4 hours, then it would be 12 o'clock. And then some people do 3-day fasts, but the thing about it is you're going to go right back to eating. The problem is our bodies are so used to eating that as soon as you stop fasting, you're gonna gain more weight because you're fasting and you're eating, versus you still keeping the same routine that you've been doing because you haven't ate in 3 days. So you're going to eat more because you're fasting. That's why a 16-hour fast every day to me is the best way to go. And if you want to do exercises, stretches are good. Doing maybe, just typical, short 15-minute workout on an exercise. And then you can do your gym equipment at night. And I got gym equipment here. Your twisty thing, I got to get my treadmill and my ab machine up and running. But once I get those two, then I'll be using those. So yeah, you can go for a walk. Walks are cool. So if you want to get up in the morning, go for a walk, and then do your exercise at night, that's what I would recommend. If you want to do your walk at night and that's going to be your exercise for the day, cool. If you want to do your strength trainings, I would do it at night. I wouldn't do it during the day. Because as soon as you work out, you're going to go eat. And all the calories you just worked off going to be right back in your mouth. It's going right back into your system. It defeats the purpose. So the best thing for you to do is, if you're going to exercise, don't eat. Don't eat. That's the only way you're going to lose weight, if you don't eat. That's why I say if you're going to do like your strength training or your extreme exercises, where you're going to do a lot of running, a lot of that, then I recommend doing it at night or in the afternoon when you get off work. So I recommend doing it before you go to bed. Go to the gym at night and work out. Because I noticed that people that go to the gym at night, they lose weight. And not only that, once you lose the weight, if you continue to work out extremely, you're going to mess around you're going to end up losing muscle. You don't want to do that. That's when you go from extreme workouts to toning. Unless you're being a bodybuilder, then that's something different. But after you lose the weight that you want to lose, then you have to just maintain it. So that means you can cut down 3 times a week, 2 times a week, as long as you're sticking to your whatever you did food wise. As long as you're sticking to that. Some people eat the same foods every day. Some people will, meal prep for the week and they try different things, and that's fine. But they're not looking at calories. They're looking at what time am I eating. So some people still eat desserts. They just make their own. And they're holistic. They make their own desserts. They're not using anything that has GMO, modified, nothing that is bioengineered. I want to learn how to make my own Oreo cookies. They're bioengineered. Chips Ahoy, bioengineered. So that's pretty much it. So I'm going to go put all these groceries up, and I got to start doing some juice. I might come back and while I'm sitting here juicing, while I'm cutting up everything with my new knife set. This is my nice little knife set, y'all. I got this from the TikTok shop. It's really cute. Kelsey and Demure. And then also these are for my ginger shots. So I didn't buy enough ginger to make these ginger shots. So only bought one. They gave me 1 clove, which I really needed more than that. But that's okay, because what I can do is with the ginger shots, I have lemon in there. So I'm going to do ginger and lemon. Ginger, lemon, and probably pineapple. And do some ginger shots. So I could do with the ginger, put all the ginger in there. And then add oranges too. So ginger, orange, and lemon. I could do that with these and make some nice ginger shots. Put them in here. And then I have some other where I can make green juice. And that could be my primary juice for the week. But I recommend, just make enough for the week. So, yeah, juice. But also while you're fasting, you can also do juicing as well. So I recommend just doing juicing. If you're going to be fasting, then just do juicing. Because let me explain what I found out by doing that. You're not going to be eating solid foods, but that don't mean you can't juice. If you're juicing while you're fasting, you won't eat as much when you stop fasting. Because you're still getting your nutrients. When you're fasting, you're not getting nutrients at all. So that's why people, after they fast, they end up going back to eating. And they eat more than they probably normally would. So that's why. So that being said, y'all, let me go put this stuff up and get ready to, because I only ate once today. So I had some chicken in there. I'm going to end up tomorrow. I'm going to shred the chicken tonight. And then tomorrow I'm going to do something with it. I might use probably use one of them packets of the ranch dressing, put it in there, and probably get some Italian dressing, put it in there, mix in there with some olives and some bell peppers and some beans. So I might add some beans into it. So I take the beans and I would either bake them or I would cook them and then put them in there. So, but I don't know yet. I haven't decided what I'm making for the week, but it's going to be something. And then I just put them in my little containers, stack them up, my breakfast, lunch. Well, breakfast and dinner, I only eat twice a day. I don't eat 3 times a day, I eat twice a day, and then I have a snack. So that's my 3 times a day. So I'm also thinking about making some ice cream. So I might let y'all see me actually make ice cream. Because I found this really cute, I want to make cookies and cream, but I want to make my own cookies. And then I want to make my own cookies from scratch and then put them into my ice cream. And then blend it into my ice cream and then put it in the refrigerator. But I got to make room for that. So I got to make room for my refrigerator to not only put ice in there, but I also need to make room to put my thing in there. So I got a bunch of stuff I got to eat before I leave in about 3 weeks. So with that being said, that's it for me. I love y'all. And until next time, as always, I will see you guys later. I hope this information helps you on your journey. And if y'all want to be a guest on my podcast, yes, I do have a real podcast, and you like the commentary, you can just reach me at asha.mariama01@gmail.com. And you can be a guest on my podcast, or you can just tell me how you like the commentary. But my goal is to help people on their paths and their journeys to a new and better version of themselves. That's my job. Cause like I said, I'm going through I'm in the cocoon stage. It's the isolation, hibernation, and cocoon stage. I'm in the cocoon stage. I'm in the recovery stage, actually. I'm in the recovery stage of everything I've been through, so I'm recovering from everything. So I'm still partly healing, but I'm more so recovering so I can get back out into the world and drive. And I've been sick for a number of years, so now it's back to driving. Now it's this holistic lifestyle. So no, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. It's a holistic lifestyle. And I gotta look at I might show y'all my holistic book of different things that I might try. So y'all might see me doing some things. So with that being said, I'm ready to go and put this stuff up and carry on with my life. And until next time, as always, I will see y'all later. Bye, y'all.